Greetings. I'm George Pastor. I am to get to free press on YouTube as Boston G.B.R. This morning I was watching Fox News and listening to Senator Lindsey Graham, and he seemed very upset. He used some words that I'm not going to use in this video in talking about China and their food preparation, especially in slaughtering animals. He talked about this disease coming from bats, and that the Chinese people slaughter bats and all the other animals in the same location. And he specifically said it had nothing to do with the government, but said this happens. And he said that he's going to write a letter to the ambassador or other higher levels of the state concerning the matter, and let the people know, let China know, that unless they change how they slaughter their animals, etc., that we are going to make other arrangements in terms of business. And he was extremely blunt in saying that a few minutes ago. And so I said to myself, I'm going to bring another outlook on his message. And I appreciate what he said, because he seemed very concerned about it. Well, let me go to the Bible a little bit for you who have read the Bible a couple of times. Jesus said that if a man does not provide for his own house, then he's worse than an infidel. And if you remember, our president, under a Democratic president, Bill Clinton, approved NAFTA. And I don't know if you all are aware of it or not, but many of our jobs went to China. Many of the industries left America and they went into China for slave labor, just like the Europeans did in 1555 when they went to Africa to hire some blacks so they could get their products at a much cheaper cost. And as a result of it, you see what they ended up with. Now we become a major problem for these white Europeans. And they have done it throughout history. They keep using other people and taking their natural resources. But Jesus said, if a man does not provide for his own house, he's worse than an infidel. And so America, instead of you paying a living wage, you want it to go to a foreign nation and buy food and buy clothing and buy other industrial item technology from another country, but you don't want to pay your own citizens. And so now Galatians 6 and 7, which is also in that same Bible, which says, God is not mocked, for whatsoever man sow, that shall he also reap. The saying that got Malcolm in trouble with Elijah Muhammad when President Kennedy was assassinated. But he was right. He said that the chickens have come home to roost. And what he was saying is that America had gone all around the world, assassinating other leaders of foreign countries, and finally it came home to roost. And so although America or North America went into Africa and just brutalized and took slaves and their children and brought them over here, we can see that now they're doing the same thing. And this is not hate. I'm just trying to get you to think outside the box of incarceration and indoctrination. Lindsey Graham made a very powerful point in that China need to change the way they prepare their food. Well, heaven, I say to China, and I say to Mr. Senator Graham, if they want to prepare their food like that, there's nothing wrong with that. Let them prepare their food. You bring your industry back home and you prepare your own chickens, your own bats, if that's what you want to eat them, and you cook them the way you want them to cook them. You put what you want in them. You want to eat a cat, then you do it in this country, and let the laws in place govern the food that the people consume. After all, when Americans go to war, they don't go for China. They tell us to defend our freedoms in this country. So the people in this country is our family. And so when family members can prepare the socks, the Levi's jeans, the things that we sent that caused many of our little towns across Georgia in particular to die out, go out of business. Now China have all that. It's strange. At one time, they had everything we made, say made in Japan, made in the Philippines. When them people woke up and wanted a living wage or more than these white multi-billionaires was willing to pay them, they found some more people, some more puppets to beat up and mistreat. Even the Chinese children are working in sweatshops for Walmart, I understand. And so all of this stuff we cause upon ourselves. You got to realize, I know y'all read the Bible and you're the Bible scholar, but seem like to me, you read it, but you don't understand nothing. You can't keep doing this stuff and don't think you're going to pay a price for it. The black man, woman, and their children didn't just come to this country as immigrants. They came over here as prisoners. Yeah, prisoners, not even slaves. They came over here as prisoners. And from 1555 to 2020. And while I'm at it, let me hit on this, and I'm going to quit. The black man in particular, we fought in every war of this nation. Every war. Even in the Civil War against one another and against our own freedom. But we fought for this country. The first person that died in the Revolutionary War was a black man by the name of Crispus Attucks. And yet, when you look back down the lineage of the black man, we went to Vietnam, fought somebody who had never done anything to us, willing to die for this country. And then, when we get back over here in America, we don't even have voting rights. Fought in Germany, Japan, didn't even have voting rights. And then they tell us racism does not exist in America. We must stand up as black Americans. There's not a more patriotic human being in America than the black man, woman, and their children. Even when they considered us as a beast in the field, we still stood up for this nation. My grand uncle told me when I went into the military during the Vietnam War, he was from New York. He tried to talk me out of it. He said, "Don't go, young man." He said, "This country don't give a damn about the black man, woman, and their children." But because I had been indoctrinated to believe in freedom, justice, and equality, and that we were the greatest nation on earth, I ended up going. I caught hell, man. I had to face discrimination. My grand uncle had told me, but my eyes was too dim. My ears was too dull. And I just didn't catch it. But today, when I look at what this government has done to me and how they're shooting black people down, I regret why I went and question why I went into the armed forces for over 20-some years. And they still are mistreating us. And this is why I fight with the black women here in Georgia that cannot vote. And then when voters vote these black people into office, these wicked white folk, along with some wicked black folk, attack them and remove them from office, lie on them with the help of the news media networks. And I'm not saying not one thing that I cannot back up by bold facts, and I can let you talk to these people, and they will tell you that I am indeed speaking the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me and you, God. So in conclusion, I want to say to you, y'all have a nice day. May God bless you Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, you was the reason that I'm cutting this video. You made the statement about China, the way they prepare and slaughter bats, and that's what caused this virus. And you say you're going to write a letter to the ambassador and other heads of state and tell them they will either stop or we're going to stop doing business. No, you said you're going to make other arrangements. Those were your words. And it was on Fox, because that's what I watched this morning. I chose to watch Fox this morning. But Lindsey Graham, you made some very good points. But while you at it, Mr. Graham, consider doing what Jesus said, and that is to provide for your own family. Bring the jobs and the industry back home so Americans can live and breathe free. You can't blame China. China taking care of their people in the way they want them taken care of. It's America who are not taking care of us. They got the 5G, they say. Now you're already looking for that and probably gonna get it. What damage will that cause to the American people? And let me close by saying this, y'all. This is what I want to say. I almost forgot it. If America's leaders think this is bad, because I said from day one, when Mr. Clinton approved NAFTA, Levi's closed from this area, Ithaca closed, Pajama Factory closed, all these industries and jobs just left and went to China. And I said to myself, and I'm going to leave this question with you today, then I'm going to quit. What if we was in a war with Russia today? And if all of our ammunition, most of our guns, most of our food came from China, and China said nothing but undermine our ammunition, put half the amount of gunpowder in each bullet, give us defective tanks, defective parts for our airplane and our vehicles, what would happen on the battlefield as we fought against the Russians? We had better wake up, y'all. How could we fight a war? The wings not made here in America. The engine not made here by American people. And they sabotage our aircrafts and our ships. You better go back to your Bible, man. All you Christians who hating on black folk, until there's a war or a natural disaster like this, then they tell us, let us all come together. You treat us all equal then. They got us all on TV talking about volunteering to go into the hospital. There ain't no race now, y'all. There ain't no race. Ain't no inferior now. There ain't no rich and poor now. There ain't no Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party now, Mr. President. And we black folk fall right into that trick over and over again. In every war, they tell us, that's my brother. All right. You got it. Yes. So you go to Germany. That's my black brother. Yes, that's my brother. They treat us nice. I love the veterans. Then when you bring your behind black to back to America, they won't even serve you a plate of food in a restaurant. Denied you the right to vote. Denied you freedom of movement. And we black folk didn't learn nothing from that. Come on, man. Let's go to Japan, man. Kill them Japs. Let's go, man. Come on. All right, black brother. Like you, brother. You're a cool dude, man. All right. Come back from Japan. Second-class citizen. Go to Panama. Second-class citizen. Go to Iraq. Second-class citizen. Go to Pakistan. Second-class citizen. Go to Iran. And it'll be the same thing. But somewhere down the line, black man gotta wake up. So we're not gonna fight your wars anymore until we receive our rights. And then when we marched in the street, black folk and white people marched in the street to get a right to vote. Then they still turn fingers down on you. Black man, black woman, and black children. Wake up, man. Somebody got to tell you the truth. And don't blame Farrakhan, because Farrakhan is definitely speaking the truth and been doing it for a long time. He do not want you deaf, dumb, and blind to the times and unable to make intelligent decisions based on facts because nobody will give them to you. And I don't want you blind either. Bye-bye. We go.